One. Well, good evening, and welcome to Real Talk, Real Solutions. It is a winning Wednesday. I am your girl, your blessed girl, Dr. Anana Pfeiffer Durham Holmes. Super excited to be here and super excited for all you that are joining all over the world. And, it could be morning, evening, night. I'm just excited that you're here, and I'm thankful and I'm grateful for my tribe and for the audience. You all know that we focus on the 4 C's: civility, community, creativity, and climate change. And as I come to you here live, hello, good evening. As I come to you live today, y'all know me, I'm a mother with 3 amazing boys. And for me here in the United States, my heart is heavy. My heart is heavy. I had to work on me all day today. I spoke to a friend yesterday. I just called her crying because we are starting, the summer season, and we've seen, so many atrocities, and seeing Black men, Black people killed every single day. So I cannot go any further without just even expressing my condolences, my pure sadness, and just a heaviness, really, to pray for our community. We talk about community, talk about civility, and it's just more of an urgency to know that we have to, work harder, right, to see civility, to see people treated with kindness, and as a community, and in my community, that we're hurting, that we are hurting. If one, we see it for one, we all see it, we all feel it. Again, as a mother with 3 amazing boys, I'm concerned. I'm really concerned with the social distancing, what's going on. It's just, so I could not go any further without, just speaking to that. And of course, this is real talk, so I could not have a real talk and a real conversation with you today without even just addressing what is going on, and just saying that my heart is heavy, and really praying and believing God for a better community, a better world, if you will, with that. So we're going to go right into it. Real talk, real solutions. I just had to have that moment. I am super excited. I have an amazing guest today. She hails all the way from Kent, United Kingdom. I hope I'm saying that right. She'll get me straight with it. But here's the thing. I've had the pleasure of working with her last year, and shout out to my coach, to my mentor, Dr. Ruben West, who connected us together, because through that connection, I met this amazing sister, and I can say that she is a sister. Just our first meeting and our time together, we were family. We broke bread together. We worked together. She worked with me on Live Your Best Life, the London experience. She did amazing training, and it was just an awesome experience. So I'm happy that she is here today. You guys know that May is Mother's Edition, where we feature mothers. We always deal with the 4 C's, but this is our last session, last Wednesday for May, where we are featuring a awesome mother, and she hails all the way from London. She's over the pond, and I'm going to give you a bit of her bio. I'm going to bring her on the screen. Y'all know technology. I want to make sure she's here. All right, she's counting down. And you all know, as she's coming on, that there she go. You guys that are coming and joining, we ask you to like, share, and also comment and be engaging as we go through this session today. But this is Dr. Norva Somoy Abiona. I hope I said that right. And let me just tell you, I've had the pleasure on the money. All right. I've had the pleasure of working with her. She has an amazing bio. She's worked all around the world. But what I can say is she is someone that truly has a heart and a passion for people. And more so, one thing that's my focus is women and being a wife, being a mother. She has an awesome testimony of overcoming. And she just has a big, great, big old heart. Great big old heart. So listen, she's an award-winning relationship and business coach. Yeah. She's a consultant, international speaker, and author. She's known as the relationship change catalyst. Catalyst, y'all. I know she's gonna have to tell me some more about that. She focuses on the wives. She focuses on that woman, yes, that has a spouse, right? And she says that no matter what, you can overcome through change. She is a proud Trinidadian. Shout out to all my Trinities out there. Big up, massive. Yes. You know, yeah. Boop, boop.
Yeah.
But she has actually migrated to London in the United Kingdom. But get this, where she actually escaped from an abusive ex-husband. So she's got a story, y'all. When she talk about overcoming, she is truly an overcomer. She is the wife to a wonderful Nigerian husband and the mother to an adult she has an adult daughter and two young daughters. Here's the thing about this that I love. Get this. Two of her daughters are already authors and they're entrepreneurs in their own right. So when we talk about mothering and creating that stimulating the creativity in our children, she could talk about that too. So I'm so excited that she's here. Y'all put your hands together, give some love, some hearts to Dr. Norva.
Yay! I am excited.
Welcome. So super excited now. I know it's late night for you. So
Yeah.
you hanging out with your girl over here in North America. So
Yeah.
I certainly appreciate you joining me today and just saying yes. Your yes means so much to me. So welcome to Real Talk Real Solutions. What's going on?
I am excited to be here. Let me first address what you spoke about before, because even though we are here in the UK, we see what is happening and it affects us all. While we're trying to rise as Black men, Black women in this world, and many things have shown, like you see the examples all over that we are making strides. However, there are still some elephants trying to trample, and we will not stand by and say, go ahead. So we are standing with you all. We are looking and we are trying to support as best as we can. If it's by posting, making our voice heard, but yeah, it has to stop. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. So yeah.
I appreciate you saying that because you know what it's a big world, but we all are affected, right? And we
Yes,
all
yes,
feel it.
yes,
And I know I think it was Will Smith that said, you know, it's not that racism is new or it's heightened. It's just that it's live. You know that
yes.
it's being recorded, that it's being filmed. So you know, in a matter of seconds, the entire world can see what's going on and can
Yes,
respond and feel that you know that heaviness and the hurt behind it.
yes,
So I appreciate you for that. And like I said
yes,
to all of us, you know, the community, like we're a community, you know, like
yes,
we as a people are a community. So I just could not, you know, go any further. I saw another post,
yes,
Dr. Britt, I call her, she's an amazing therapist. She says, you know, for African American, for Black people, it's like a pandemic inside of a pandemic, you know,
mm,
because we have this crisis going on health wise. We see people, you know, dying every day, right? Or fighting it, you know, and overcoming it. But and
yes,
also we are seeing people, you know, being killed and marginalized, you know, by racism.
yes,
So it's just so many things going on right now. So I'm glad that we can be here. We can be a
yes,
voice. We can bring light and bring inspiration, right?
yes.
To the world. So I'm happy and blessed to even be that. So Real Talk, Real Solutions, that's what this show is about. And I tell everybody, we're here to motivate, inspire, but activate. We are
Yes.
here to activate you, activate something in you. Come on, sis.
Yeah. And staying on that point, the reason why we are so passionate about it is because, as you say, we're mothers. We have children, or children are growing up. The society we want to know that we're leaving them in is a place where they're comfortable, they're free to be themselves, they're happy to walk down the road and not be afraid. You understand? It doesn't matter what country you go to. You want your children, you want to know that when you say bye to your children and they go somewhere, you feel comfortable leaving them. You spend your time praying that they have great experiences, not praying that God protect their life. Like, you don't want all your time to be spent doing that, and that's what we have to do a lot of times. So yeah, I hear you. I hear
Yeah.
you. I
Thank you.
hear you.
Thank you. I see
Yeah.
Beverly. She's chiming in from Guyana. She's in
Hey.
Campbellville, Guyana. Yes, yes. So
Yes,
they
yes,
checking in. Wendell Graham for checking in. But thank you guys. And again, feel free. We comment, we converse if you have any questions.
yes,
But talk to us, Dr. Norva.
yes,
What's going
yes,
on? What's happening?
yes,
What's happening?
yes.
What's on your heart, mother? What's on your heart?
The first thing that's on my heart is COVID-19. Let me tell you something. This has been, I don't know what you call it, a roller coaster ride, because it's so sad to see how many people's life have been affected in a negative way. But having said that, this has brought to light the importance of community that starts in the home. Can you imagine that there are some people, while we have conversations with our children in the house, there are some children, they have no relationship with their parents. So it's like they're in prison. Parents feel like they can't speak to their children, so they're in prison. This is not the way it's supposed to be. So that's the first thing that's on my mind. I am so excited. I remember the experience I had when I met you. I could see, I met you, I met your mom, I met your sister, your children, the love, the community. It reminded me of the saying that it takes a village to raise a child. You all have put the village together and you're raising children, man. You're raising generations. And that is so exciting to see. And so it just reminds me it doesn't matter where we are in the world, we are trying to do it for our children. And you've touched on some things when it comes to my life. The reason why I'm here in the UK was to make sure that my child had the opportunity to grow in a place where she was free to be herself. As you said, I started off in Trinidad and knocked my head, I would say, got married at the age of 19. And from honeymoon, abuse, well, let me say that's when I realized this is abuse, on honeymoon.
Okay.
But if I really look back, I could see that when we were courting, the little manipulation and all those stuff was there. But naive me and not thinking, let me look more into it. And when people say things, and then you think, because I'm a church girl, you think I've done the right thing, I've kept myself, and because I've done that, everything will work out great. It does not happen like that. There's a place for us to be obedient when the Lord tells us something. And I got some little nudge, Nova, but I listened to some people thinking they know more than me. The thing is, they didn't know more than God. And at the end of the day, I have to throw my hands up and say, I put myself in that situation, but I got myself out. I got myself out with my
That's
daughter.
big.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So it doesn't matter where we end up. Because for me, I stayed for 6 years. And interestingly, 3 years into the marriage, that's when I opened my mouth and said something. I said to my mom, Mom, my husband hits me. And my mom was in shock. But I was always a little comedian. So I kind of went around and around and around, because in my head, I started to think, what have I just done? What will happen when I get back home? So I changed the topic and everything. Of course, when I got home, he wasn't happy. But I tried to not bring it up again until like 3 years later. So this is 6 years into it, when enough was too much. Enough was too much. I was like, Nova. By then, I had my daughter, who was one, because I got pregnant 5 years into the marriage. There's a whole struggle in itself when you're trying for a child or you're married and everybody like, wow, no baby yet, no baby yet. Like, you could force yourself to get it in and force yourself to take it out.
Right,
So
right.
I had to go over that hurdle, and then you get pregnant. By the time I got pregnant, I was like, I know that this man is not treating me good. Do I really want this to have a child with him? But thank God, we could ask for things and it comes and we think, oh, is this the right time? I don't like what's happening here. But God's timing is the best, because my daughter has been a blessing, not even in disguise. She's a blessing in plain sight, a blessing in plain sight from day one. Just having her gave me the motivation to know, Nova, you do not have to stay and take this. And if you don't want to move for your sake, think about her. And so that's when I applied, came over here to study, got permission to bring my daughter. And to be honest, I ain't gonna lie, when I left, I thought, you know what, things will get better and we will reconcile and I'll go back to Trinidad after and it'll be happily ever after.
Mhm.
Well, a little break from him caused my mind to be open and to realize, Nova, if you go back there, then you are settling not just for a horrible situation, but you are really putting yourself and your child back in harm's way. And so I decided to push from the time I got here to educate myself. I left school with one O level first, then I did it over and got two. So I had three O levels. I didn't pass English, I didn't pass math 7 times, didn't pass it. And then just before I came, I passed it. And I thought, if you could do this, I did it in 3 months, you could
Mhm.
do anything. So I
Mhm.
took up my little bundle of saltfish and UK, here we came. And yeah, thank God I have an aunt over here. So I moved in with my aunt. And yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It was just, it's nice to be in a place where you feel like you don't have to look over your shoulder when you've been looking over your shoulder, even though you're living in a house with somebody. Abuse is real. And I'm talking about it even more so today because in this COVID-19, the statistics are that people feel more trapped in abusive relationships now because you can't go out, you can't call people. Even if you want to call and tell a friend how you feel, he is right there. And okay, I know men experience it as well, but we're talking now to the ladies, and so we're targeting them in what we're saying because we know most of the times it's the women that are on the other end of the stick and the children who, whether you feel that it's affecting them or not, it is. In a few years, they need therapy. They're asking you, why did you stay? And I just thank God that He helped me to decide, Nova, get out, get out. And that's why I said my daughter has been a blessing in plain sight. Of
Mhm.
course, yeah. So that's one part of the journey, of course, one part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's so much to that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
just your courage and then your dedication. I mean, you said how many times you didn't pass the level or the
Seven
grade?
times each. Seven
You
times each.
know, like how many times you fail one time and you be like, ah, forget it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You fell one time, you fell two times, three times. Ah, maybe this is not for me, right? But your commitment, your courage to keep on going, and again to somebody that's watching, because it's always for inspiration and it's not about us. But you know what? Things might not have worked out the first time, the second
Hmm.
time, the third time. But we encourage you tonight to go for it
Yeah.
one more time. One more
Exactly.
time,
Exactly.
whatever it is that
Exactly.
you go for it, because if God gave you that vision, He gave you that idea, He gave you keep going forward, keep pressing forward, right? I'm sure you can talk to
Yeah.
that, but you know.
Yeah. And I was going to say, let us keep it real as well, because for me, even though I was doing it and I was saying, Nova, you're studying hard, you're pushing everything. If I'm honest with myself, I
Mhm.
was not studying as hard as I could have.
Okay.
So I was fooling myself. And then I'm always surprised when I see the results. I'm like, come on, I put everything, I put blood, sweat, and tears.
Yes,
And that
yes.
was me going at it. Maybe you're taking 6 months or a year to
Mhm.
prepare for this. But I was just, I was fooling
Mhm.
myself, and that does not work.
Right.
And the reason I know I was fooling myself was, as I told you, 3 months it took me from the time I decided enough is enough. The abuse was enough. Now I'm pregnant. I have this child. I'm like, Nova, you need to do something. And I remember going to class. In fact, here's a funny joke. I decided to pay this guy to teach me. And when he was teaching me, I realized he's putting everything I do correct. I'm like, I can't be failing all this time and everything is correct. So I
Right, right.
decided to ditch you because I'm paying you by the hour and it's wasting my time. And then I went to this evening college where I had to pay 50 cents. Now, 50 cents in Trinidad money is like, I don't know, 12 or 14 US cents.
Okay. Okay.
That was it. That was all I paid.
Okay.
They were
Wow.
preparing for a cycle. Like I'm paying $40 first an hour.
Right,
Then I go
right,
to this class because they want everybody to get a chance. And I
right.
decided, Nova, work, work, work. So I signed up for the exam, and then the teacher said, no, you shouldn't have signed up. You're supposed to at least give it 6 months or something. I'm like, no, the exam is in 3 months. You do what you have to do. I will do what I have to do. And
Wow.
as I said, within 3 months, I passed the both of them. And I said, Nova,
Mm.
between this child, I don't know if it's the mixed hormones and everything now,
Right, right.
we look it up, we look it up. And
Mm.
yeah, that just gave me all the motivation I needed so that when I came to this country, after exam, I was just passing, passing, passing. All the silly things I was thinking about myself. You're silly. You don't know what you're doing. How could you be feeling all this time? You must be the most dotish person. That's Trinity talk. Sorry. Yeah. Like, what you
Come
call
on.
it? Pig-headed
Right, right,
person.
right.
That. But then I had to change that kind of self-talk as well. As soon as you
Mhm,
start to realize that in helping, focus.
mhm,
Forget about how you're feeling. Focus. Do what you have to do. Do what you have to do. Not just for you, but for that child, for that child, for that child.
wow.
If you can't do it for yourself, do it for something. Some of you, you are children, do it for the dog. Do it for the cat. Do it for, like, find something, man. Find
Yes. Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But let something drive you, and then be honest with yourself. Do the work. Put in the work and watch what will happen. When you put in the work, as I say, it does not take a long time.
Yeah.
I
Awesome.
know I know somebody who they've been doing a course now 10 years. 10 years one course.
Mhm,
Check yourself. Check yourself. Realize that you're not doing, even though you might be saying you're talking a good talk,
mhm.
you're not walking the walk. So it is self-examination.
Yeah.
Self-examination makes a big difference.
Yeah. So true. I mean, just those conversations, as they say, to thy own self be true. Like, listen, you might try to lie and get over on everybody else, but baby, you need to have some real conversations with yourself, sis. Like,
Yeah,
like I
woman
said, when
in the
you can
mirror.
check yourself, come on, exactly. Then you know that's a level of growth, a level of maturity.
Yes,
Like, nah, I
yes,
know, you know what I'm saying? I halfway did that. You know what I'm saying? Or
yes,
even when you know you do things wrong, like, girl, when you get to that point, I mean, forget about even just the Holy Spirit, be like, you was wrong.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That was out of order. And for me, I know, like, you can say the same thing. Definitely being a wife, woo,
mm,
that's a whole nother one. Lord, please help me. And you be laying in bed, was like, you was wrong about that. You should have
yeah,
did that.
yeah,
I'm sure.
yeah, yeah,
I'm sure
yeah,
that happens very, very, very often. So no, it's true. It's true. So let's. I want you to say, if, because you never know who's watching, who knows
yeah.
somebody who's watching. What
Mhm,
word of encouragement, if there's anything that you can say to someone that may perhaps still be in that situation, and like you said,
mm,
now dealing with Corona and being shut down and
mm.
things like that. In that, what word of advice, of encouragement, what would you like to say to someone that's in this current situation?
The first thing that comes to mind is the quote from Les Brown: ask for help. Not because you are weak, but because you want to remain strong, and don't stop until you get it. Ask for help. The way life is now, modern technology, listen, you do not have to open your mouth to say something is wrong. You could text it, you could email it, you could send the message out, help, without having to shout.
Mhm.
But ask for help. Don't stay and just suffer in silence. Before I left Trinidad, I had to get to the point where, as I said, I had to open my mouth and say, listen, real talk, enough is too much. Enough is too much. Some of my siblings, friends didn't realize how bad things were. And I didn't say everything before I left, because I was afraid as well that if you say too much, next thing, people trying to help you out, they telling your spouse, oh, your wife is saying she's not happy about this. Next thing, I get my debt. So I had to be wise in what I was saying, but I said enough for people who care about me to know I got the gozes. I've got the gozes. So I am just saying to you, listen,
Mhm.
come to the end of yourself. Don't try to show that you know it all.
Mhm.
Strength is not showing that you know it all.
Mhm. That's
You
good.
could show strength in asking for help. Because if everybody knew everything, then we wouldn't have shows like this.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have experts. We wouldn't have professionals. There's so much things people could see on YouTube. You could go and look. You could put on headphones, listen, get advice,
Yeah.
take the advice, and then begin to search for the help where you could get it. But don't go and tell, as we say back home, the marish and the parish.
Mm.
You want to find a few good people who you know. If
Okay.
I tell them, and I say to them as well, do not mention anything to my spouse, that they won't. They won't. Because I remember the night before I left, I was going to say to some people, I'm going. And in the taxi, because I'm thinking tomorrow morning I'm gone. I was going in the taxi, and the taxi driver was a Christian man. And so I'm going, and he's like, "How are you?" And Nova decided to be open and honest.
Mm.
"Hi, things are not good." "Oh, what do you mean?" I said, "No, I've had enough. I'm leaving my husband." Ha! Thinking freedom, I'm saying something. Do you know what happened?
Mm.
Next morning, 5 a.m., 5 a.m., pop in front of the house. This is no lie. I am not making this up. I looked out, I saw my husband going out, and I looked out and I saw the same taxi driver. And I am inside thinking, oh my God, I am going to get my death. I was, you like, you just know, was crying,
Mm.
praying, Lord Jesus, what's going to happen? And then after a little while, my ex-husband, he came in the house. So I was like trying to be nice, something. I was like, oh, what did he want? And he said, oh, he just called to invite me to a crusade. He didn't say
Mm-hmm.
anything,
Mm-hmm.
but he tried to reach out. But that was enough for me to know, Nova,
Mm-hmm.
your flight is this evening, leave this morning.
Okay.
So my husband left, went around the corner, literally 2 minutes away from the house. I pulled everything together. I'd already sent my daughter away from the house.
Mm-hmm.
So like she's on a little break. I grabbed everything. My grandaunt was in the house. That was very hard. So I said, take care. She's like, what's going on? I said, when my husband come ask him, I jump. I went out the road, cross, and I saw a friend going up to where he was by the shop. I said, when you get up there, tell my husband I say goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. I did not look back. As I said, I was thinking about looking back, but thank God he kept my head like this. He's like, no looking back, darling.
Right.
Straight, straight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Incredible. Incredible story. Again, I love the aspect of overcoming, and even in being in an abusive situation, a relationship, or what have you. But just everyone. I mean, I think it's so important. You talk about strength. You think that, asking for help is a sign of weakness. No, but asking for help is really showing how strong you are, right?
Yeah.
Because you know your weakness and you know that you
Exactly.
need help in that area, whatever it may be. It become for business. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
really, the numbers and finance,
Yeah.
but having someone who can support me in that area where I am
Yeah.
weak, that's wise.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Getting people around you that are strong where you are weak is that's the smartest thing you can do. So I think that's great,
Yeah.
great advice all the way
And I
around,
was
you know?
Yeah, and I was going to say all of these skills are transferable as well, as you say. It's the same thing you need to know when it comes to your children, parenting. It's the same thing you need to know when it comes to business. It's the same thing you need to know with education.
Right.
There's a place for asking for help.
Yeah.
There is a place. And when you get that help and that knowledge, you pass it on. It's work for you. You pass it on. You tell others. That is why we're here. That's why you're here. That's why you're doing your program. The
Exactly.
things you learn, you want other people to come up as well. We're taking hands. We're holding a hand here, but we're taking a hand below as well, and we're saying, "You come with me," while somebody's pulling me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Powerful, 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 powerful. But thank you, sis, for always being transparent, sharing a piece of
Yeah.
your life. A tough time for you, but your ability to overcome. I know, you continuously bless and help others.
Mm,
Just
mm,
that piece of the story of your life. So,
yeah.
okay. So let's talk about motherhood. Let's talk about
Mhm.
that leaving Trinidad, coming to the U.S.,
Yes.
being a
Yes.
mom. And I know I've had such the opportunity to meet your oldest daughter, Shanova, and she is absolutely incredible. So I know when you talk about that and her being that
Yes.
one to help you and bless
Yes.
you, um,
Yes.
I, she is truly a blessing. And
Yes.
there's some things even to her story. You even talking about, I think we were always talking about her going to university, and it was like,
Yes.
no, she's
Yes.
entrepreneur, right? She
Yes.
already running her
Yes.
own
Yes.
business, right?
Yes.
And even to
Yes.
other parents, a part of my story was, and it's not somewhat the same, but letting your child, when it's not really what you want for them or what you thought
Exactly.
for them, right?
Mm,
Um,
mm.
and I remember one of the stories and something I write about in one of my books is one of the biggest things for me and my oldest son was letting go because
Yes.
for me, like I wanted him to be a physician assistant. I don't know if anybody
Yes.
know a PA, we call it in the US, right?
Yes.
And so we picked a career, we went down everything. He got into the program, the best program in the state, and everything was lined up for him. And I think after his freshman year, he was like, "Ma, it's not for me." Girl,
Mm.
now you know me. I'm like, what? What you mean it's not for
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
What you talking about? We got a whole plan, boy. You in this program. Here's what's gonna be,
Mhm.
right? And
Yeah.
being able to step back, it really was
Yeah.
tough for me, to
Yeah.
accept what his decision was. He wanted to go into communications and marketing, but he just made that's a small shift. But I know
Yeah.
just for myself that as a parent, as a mother, being able to make that shift and allow him to go in the direction that he was really led and
Yeah.
his purpose and his passion was certainly a process for me. So let's talk about Shanova, your other two daughters, and letting
Yeah.
them be creative and entrepreneurs and talk about that. Incredible.
Yeah. So the first thing I have to say is that I'm not doing this alone. I am co-parenting with because I'm happily married. My husband, because I've gotten remarried, my husband is such a loving, caring man. So we work together when it comes to the way that we're bringing the children up. And we have a difference in opinion, but we talk about it and really get the children involved. What do you want to do? So Shanova, in the first place, well, as I said, when we came here, she was one. And I just wanted to make sure that some of the things that I felt held me back. I mean, I take it too far sometimes, to be honest, yeah. But the things that held me back, I didn't want it to hold her back. So if you are interested in something, I am there to push you. If there are things that she said, Mommy, I don't want to do it, but I'm like, Shinova, you don't know yet, go try.
Okay.
Try it. And then if you don't like it, then say you don't. But don't judge books while you're outside. Start reading, and then say something. So, from a young age, like myself, Shinova got into entrepreneurial stuff. So, at age 8, I think she started making these costume jewelry and stuff, but not for children, for adults, and selling them. Nice earrings, necklace, and stuff. And she really would take her time and do it. But then after a while, because she was trying to juggle that with her schoolwork and it's very labor intensive, she put that down for a while until she wanted to go for a trip for school. Now, I don't know how it is in the US, but in the UK, there is always one school trip or another. So we're like, okay, you've been on a few and now you want to go on this trip. It was a
Again,
good trip to Auschwitz, but we're like, you talking about, I think it was like 700 and something. I'm like, you need to bring some money in. So my husband and I said, here, what? You put half, we would put half.
okay.
So she was like, okay, she has to get creative. So I mean, some children might just think, let me go begging this one, asking this one. She decided to stop and think, what do I like doing? And I remember she was going through the list of things. I like cooking, I like this. And then she realized, actually, I'm always talking. And so that's how she started voiceover on Fiverr. I mean, most people know about Fiverr now, Fiverr.com. But that's where she started. And within a short space of time, she not only reached her 350, but she surpassed that. And since then, and that was 5 years ago,
Wow.
she has been doing voiceover work. And let me just kind of say some of the things that she's done. So she's done commercials, she's done apps, she's done ebooks, the voiceover work for those things. She has clients in about 35 countries now. She's worked with the BBC, she's worked with prestigious universities. She has, listen, when I step back and I think, girl, I think you're bringing in more than me. Like,
I know that's a good feeling.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And she is so, I admire the things that Shinova does because we didn't say, give us money. But from the time she started making, she was like, I'm going to make sure I put aside my money for God. I'm
Mhm.
going to put aside my parents. Then I'm going to work on She has a little that she puts into her savings,
Mhm.
but she started investing in herself, buying better equipment. She started out just with her phone in the first place, and she made uh what do you call it? Those pop filters
Mhm.
so that the pop doesn't come through with a hanger and pantyhose. That's how she started.
Wow.
That is how she started.
Wow.
She looked on YouTube, saw somebody made it, and from there, now she has equipment. In fact, recently she built a little studio upstairs. So she is really deciding, I want to push. Now, let me just step back and talk about the whole school bit now.
Mhm.
When she was coming to the end of school, she wanted to come to America to study. And we were all, well, let me just say we were all. I was like, girl, you do your thing. But my husband and I had to talk about it first. Not because he didn't want her to do her thing, but because he was thinking sending her abroad like that, a young woman, he wasn't too sure.
Mhm.
But we're like, you know what? She didn't feel that she wanted to go over here. We didn't mind. So after talking about it, she did the exams, the SAT exam, passed
Mhm.
them, and but she when she got through with some universities, she never got the full ride that she wanted. So she got offered to 3 places, and because she didn't get that full ride, she thought, you know what, forget it. And she wasn't interested in uni here. What am I going to do? Force her? Go, 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 go. Then she ends up in debt, and then she still doesn't have a career. I
Right.
knew that she was entrepreneurial from 8.
Right. Wow.
And the
Wow.
thing is, as I said, even now she keeps investing in herself. So
Right.
it's not that she isn't studying. She's
Mhm.
studying the things that is helping to push her in the direction that she is
Absolutely.
interested in going. And more than that, her love for God is amazing. She loves God with all of her heart. She sets aside her time to pray, to fast, to read. I don't have to force that down her throat because she's seen what putting our trust in God has done for my husband, for myself. She's
Right.
seen it for my mom, my grandmom, my siblings. So it is like because she's seen it modeled.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that helped to push her in that direction. But she would say it even better than me, I suppose. But and then of course she was such a good example for her siblings to see as well.
Wow.
She was such a good example for the little ones when they came
Yeah.
along.
Yeah. 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 Very, very good. Very, very. I mean, I know, like I said, just to see her and have the opportunity working with her and having her share her story, and that's the creativity, right?
Yes,
That, again, one of our 4 C's that, you're saying she took a hanger and stocking,
yes,
I mean, so you could take nothing and, what
yes,
God gives you, that little
yes,
bit of something is something
yes,
bigger, like,
yes,
to do the next thing and to really
yes,
tap into the creativity and give her the space to do that. You
yes,
wasn't like, oh, you going to university, you're going, like this is the option, but you allow her to, move freely and develop,
yes.
in her space. That was incredible.
Yeah, and I think maybe what helped me to be willing to do that as well was because I wasn't like a brainy girl in school. I was very sporty,
Mhm.
really good with athletics. And I did not even know while I was at school that I was dyslexic. I was only diagnosed when I was finishing up my master's at age 31.
Wow.
But I knew I couldn't read properly. And so I
Mhm.
just thought maybe I missed something somewhere
Mhm.
until I was properly diagnosed. So because I wasn't forced into that kind of lifestyle, I'm like, I think I turned out all right.
I know
So
that's right.
yeah, forge your part. And yeah,
Wow.
she has been doing a phenomenal job. And she still makes time to invest in her sisters. She make like literally they're always cooking, baking, it's babysitter on the without the money, I should say, not even on the money, without the money.
Right, right, right.
Babysitting. So yeah, she is just a really good all-rounder.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So, what else would you like to talk about? You want me? Look, I know you
Yeah.
have quite amazing things that's going on.
Yeah.
So, speaking to women, to mothers, I think we touched on the motherhood, being a wife.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share, or what God has on your heart for the people tonight? Because they're
Well, let me
watching.
just, yeah, I feel like I just want to share a little bit about my testimony with the other little two because some people, you read that I have a 21 going on 21-year-old, and then I have a 6-year-old, and I can't say 7, she'll be 8 in 4 days. And she said, oh, make sure and tell them I'll be 8 in 4 days. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. So my 6-year-old and 8-year-old, having them was a testimony in itself, because of course we were really happy with having Shinova, but my husband and I coming together, part of the thing that we knew that the Lord had put us together for was to invest into some other little lives. But when the time came and we were trying, it wasn't happening. It did not happen. And I feel like the Lord is telling me to share this for people to not feel bad if you have one child and you want another one. Don't let people make you feel bad because you want another one. Do you know it's within you to have another child? You're praying about it. Don't let people say, well, yeah, people, at least you have one. Some of us have none, but the struggle is still real if this is what the desire of your heart is. So for us, we were trying for those uh, children for a few years. I ended up having a couple miscarriages.
Okay.
And then I thought I was pregnant again. And you know the story. You think, okay, I'm doing pregnancy tests. And I don't know, I am maybe the kind of person who always have to do things over and over. So I did 5 pregnancy tests and they were all coming back negative, 5 of them. But my tummy was growing. I started to feel something on the inside. And so I was like, you know what? This is a miracle child from the Lord that is coming here. Until one day when I had my dream job at that time, heading up a mediation office, and I went into work and I just felt like something was about to fall through my vajay hole. I was like, this is not what I think is a bundle of joy, even though it's negative, about to fall out. So I called my husband and I told him, because I was having little symptoms before. I'm going to the toilet a lot to pass urine, but yeah, it was like weird symptoms, a little tummy pain here, a little tummy pain there. Anyway, long and short of it is, by the time we went and did tests and stuff, they realized my right ovary was no more. It had grown into this big mass. And then when they did the test, it was cancer. So my right ovary had to be cut out. And of course, that is a blow when you're trying for children, because that would have been the first biological child for my husband. Although my Shinova is, like his own. People even say they look alike. But God, in his love, in his wisdom, in his mercy, I went through my chemo, learned a lot about myself, changed my whole perspective on life. Even though I thought I was courageous before, I realized in that moment that I had a lot more to live for and fight for. I was in a loving relationship. I think if I was in the other relationship, I might have been like, anytime now, Lord, I don't mind, I'm ready to come home. But no, a loving daughter, a wonderful husband, that helped push me through. I'd lost my hair and everything. But then they said to me, I may not have children again, because I went into menopause. They said it might take 2 years before you have more, if it's possible. And of course, we know that I have children, but the miracle of it, besides having the children, was that within 4 months of finishing chemo, the real deal was on the inside. The real deal.
So wait. Within 4 months of finishing chemo, you were pregnant.
Don't ask me how immaculate conception or something. I don't know what I was doing. I was trying to, soothe my pain.
Right.
It happened.
What?
Yeah.
So you are a cancer survivor. Okay.
Yes.
And what type of cancer was it?
Ovarian cancer. So I have no right ovary, but my left is shooting right.
Look at God. Look at God. Oh my goodness. That's whoa. So then you had the first one, 4 months. You got pregnant with her 4 months.
Yes.
Had going to chemo, right?
Yes.
So you had her, and then what else?
After she came, just within 3 months, she had to have heart surgery because she had a large hole in her heart. The devil is a liar. I was like, I ain't even going to be fussing or fighting. Like, I remember when she went for surgery, they're like, oh, she be praying. I prayed already. The Lord gave me this one. I ain't even slacking no riding. I've taken her to God and I'm leaving her there. I know that this is a blessing.
Yeah.
And listen, they said she would be in intensive care for a week, and then it would take about 3 weeks to 4 weeks before she comes out. Within 1 week, she was out. She was out and healthy. She is running around, normal child now,
Mm.
active. She loves her independence. She is Miss Independent.
Mhm,
But
mhm,
then, as I say, when she was, in fact, when we were celebrating her first birthday, I was already heavily pregnant. People came into the party, and while they were like, "Oh, surprise," I was like, "Surprise, extra surprise, surprise, surprise." Yeah. So right after, and then my doctor said, "I think the chemo must have been fertility treatment for you." I was like, "Won't he do it?" Yes, he did. Between
did.
God and my husband, I was happy, darling. I was happy.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Powerful. I mean, powerful testimony on top of testimony on top of testimony. Like, if you're not encouraged by listening, like, you're a miracle yourself, right? Because the enemy tried to take you out from then and being in an
Yes.
abusive
Yes.
situation,
Yeah.
relationship, marriage, what have you, right?
Yes.
And then, to allow you to conceive after going through ovarian cancer or being an
Yes.
overcomer, sis, that's all you. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
all you. That's what people say. It's like, man, this is awesome, awesome. God,
Yeah.
indeed. I mean, just to build
Yes.
faith.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
so not about you. And then you got two new miracles, because them babies is like you
Yes.
said. Then the enemy still came with something about this hole in her heart, but it was like, listen, God done did all of this. You ain't scared. Look,
Yeah.
you
And the thing is, and this is how the enemy does it, eh? When he knows you have purpose and destiny within you, he tries. He tried with that one. Then when I was pregnant with the other one, well, both of them I had what do you call it, placenta. I had SPD, synthesis pubis dysfunction. So I had to be on crutches and then on wheelchair and stuff. But then with the last one, I ended up having what you call placenta previa. So my placenta wanted to come out before the baby. I was heavily bleeding, rushing. By the time I gave birth to her, 6 pints of blood I needed, more than I started off with, in order to get this. Well, they got her out, but then they had to put things back in me. I'm like, devil, you could try, but we know.
come
We
on,
know who has the final say.
come
We
on.
know. And so you know the word for you listening today, it does not matter where you started. It does not even matter where you feel you are now or the way things look. Listen to me. There is a God who sits high. He looks low. He has good plans for your life. His plans for you would never be bad. It is always good. And he does all things well. All things well. All. I will sit on that a while. Sit on that a while. He is faithful. Yes, Zena. Faithful, faithful, faithful.
Man, it is so true. I mean, and that's the thing, even in dark times, even, when you're being tested, right? When it doesn't seem like, and you could say,
Yes,
wow, and there's any a point where it's like, why me? Like,
yes,
woe is
yes.
me. Like, let's be honest, sometimes you feel like that, like, why did this have to happen? And I
Mhm.
tell you, sometimes when you have them real conversations, God to me is like, why not you? Like,
Yeah,
who do you
exactly.
think you are that you don't have to, experience hardships? Like, who do
Yeah,
you think
yeah,
you are?
yeah.
Right? I mean, honestly, but God. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly,
Like, you here
exactly.
and you're gonna go through this, and I'm gonna walk you through this. You're gonna
Yes,
come out victorious, but who are you not to be tested? Who are you not
yes.
to be tried? Who are we? Who you
As,
what?
as as somebody said, like, who would you suggest? You want to start calling names? Send my sister,
Right?
send my cousin. No, 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 no. He chose you to go through that particular thing because he knows you are strong enough to not just take it, but to make it. We are not just
Hey,
trying
wait a
to,
minute. You said not just take it, but to make it. Y'all better put that in the comments. Come on, quote my sis. Come on, quote
yeah,
Dr.
not
Nova.
just
You
take
ain't
it, but
gonna
to
just
make
take it. You gonna make it.
exactly,
I love it.
exactly, exactly, exactly. And that's why we don't say, oh, I'm a survivor. No, I'm a thriver. I'm a thriver. Survive what? Survive is looking at me and saying, there she goes. There she goes.
Come on, sis. Come
Yeah,
on. Not no survivor. We thrive. You
yeah,
thrive, sis. I love it.
yeah.
I love it.
You know, when I think of the goodness, you know that song, when I think of the goodness of
Woo.
Jesus, who don't want to call his name, I'll call it Jesus, and what he has done for me.
Woo.
You see why I could smile, why I could put on a little makeup, even when I'm home in my cove. I know what he has brought me through. I
Yes.
know where he is taking me. I have no doubt that the road ahead for me is a great one.
Mm.
I have no doubt. And I
Doubt.
don't care who say anything or throw mud. I'm running faster. I'm just skipping over mud. You throw mud, I'll climb. You throw mud, I'll climb. I don't even care. I don't even care. We are the ones that will stop ourselves if we don't listen to what the Lord is saying to us.
Whew. Yeah, that's good. That's good. You're good. That's some good stuff right there. That's some
Mhm.
good stuff. The folks are listening. Not gonna take it, but make it. She is a thriver. Now she says you're not just strong enough to take it, but you're going to make it. And
Yeah,
that's it, sis. I mean, like that's a word right there. Like if y'all don't take nothing out of today, looking real talk, real solutions, because real talk, we're gonna go through some stuff. Like this ain't gonna be
exactly.
easy. Like it ain't gonna be no, walk on some rose petals and stuff, right? It's just like stuff is going to happen. You're going to be
Exactly.
challenged. You're going to be tested. There is no testimony without a test. So what? Wait, what? How you gonna be? Come on, I mean, so understand that, right? But know that you are an overcomer. That all things work together. All things work together. And that is the bad stuff. That is the mud. Those are the bricks. Those are the rocks that are thrown at you.
Yeah.
Right? But you are an overcomer and you are a thriver. That is so, so powerful. But that is good. That's good. I'm just gonna show some more of the comments. But go ahead, sis.
No, I was going to say, while you're talking about trials, a trial is about to happen. Let me
What
overcome it.
you got a chat? You got
You
a
talk and let
charge?
me
Okay,
just
okay.
plug it in.
Y'all know it's real talk resolution. She got to go ahead and plug that baby in. But isn't that incredible? I mean, and the thing is, I love is because listen, Dr. Norva don't look like what she been through. That's the one thing I love. When he bring you out, when he bring you through, there ain't no smoke on you, ain't no ashes, no residue, baby. You just shine. You come on through. They have no idea until you
Yeah,
open your mouth and tell them what you've been through.
exactly. And you better open your mouth and say something because somebody's life is dependent on it.
Mm,
Sometimes we want to study more and do this more and do that more. You have something to share.
yes,
Share what has happened to you, what the Lord has brought you through.
yes.
I remember back in the day, I've heard some people, some testimonies. They even one time this lady was testifying about how the Lord helped her to pass wind. I was like, lady,
What?
in the name of Jesus, you were stomping on wind.
What?
But then you realize what they were doing. What they were really doing is encouraging people. It doesn't matter how big or how small. In everything, give thanks. In everything, give thanks and share that the Lord has brought you through. Then you'll have more testimonies to give.
Amen. Amen. No, that's good. That's really, really, really good stuff. I thank you. Like I said, and I'm sure there's even more to it. But like I said, so much about your story, your journey as a wife, as a mother, as a woman of God, and then still pursuing your own calling. Like, how do
Yeah,
you do that? Like, let's just talk to that. Your own passion, right? You
yeah,
still are a mother, you still are a
yeah,
wife, right? You have your
yeah.
duties with that, but you still have your own calling. You still have your own
Hmm.
passion. And that's one thing, even with Moms on a Mission, I see so often women forget that. Wait a minute, baby. God called you to something. Right? You have a
Hmm.
purpose, you have a call. And will you fulfill your calling and your purpose? Because when it's all said and done, we can't blame it on the kids. You can't blame it on your husband. You can't blame it on your mama, on Pookie and them, and who did what and who shot John. What did I tell
Hmm.
you to do? And you're going to be accountable for such. So you
Yeah,
flow in that too. So, I mean,
yeah,
how does that work? How do you still stay focused, like you said, to go
yeah,
forward and do the things that God has called you to do as we wrap it up? Because my goodness, time is going. But
yeah,
we got
yeah,
to talk to
yeah.
that. We got to speak to that.
Yeah, well, let me just say quickly. For me, I talk about work-life balance. This it is so important, and I know people say, "Oh, there's no such thing as work-life balance." Listen, there is.
Okay.
If you don't know how to do it, then that's what we were saying. Ask for help because you need when you get the simple steps, the things that you need to do, you realize that sometimes you're just focusing in the wrong place. You're majoring on minor things, and
Ooh,
sometimes you're going too minor on the major things. When you know what you have to do and you put things in place, then you begin to see actually this is not as hard as people make it out to be. But what people who don't know how to do it, they begin to tell you it cannot be done.
mm.
Listen to
Well,
people who are telling
whoa, whoa,
you.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop right there. People who don't know how to do it will try to tell you that it can't be done. If y'all don't put
Mhm.
that in the comments, okay, sis, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But this is the you know they say empty vessels make the most noise. It's still true today, 2000 years or how much later, it's still true today. And so you want to move away from the empty vessels. If it sounds too loud, start to look away and look for substance. You want something in the cup, something steady in the cup.
That's good.
And for me, what I've learned is making sure that I include my husband, making sure that I include my children when I'm making decisions, when I'm planning things, planning 3 months ahead, looking at the way that things need to be done. All these things help. I
Yes.
know we're short on time, but listen, the bottom line is all things are possible if you look in the right direction. The person who could tell you if you need to look left and look right or up, down is God. Say, Lord, what are you saying? Where are you leading me? Lead me in paths of righteousness, the right path for me, for
Yes.
your name's sake, and watch what he will do.
Mm. Woo, that's good, sis. That's good. I mean, I know that this is a on time word. I know I feel happy. I feel inspired and energized by the time that we share today. We got Deborah. She's chiming in from Canada. She's in Toronto. I saw Jane. She's in Burundi. She's in East Africa. I see Zena. She's that you know that's your girl. She's over there in London too, repping. I know there's some folks. I see Shanique. I see my folks right here from Jersey holding me down. I thank you guys all so much. And I always say, listen, you know that it's a matter of you watch this, you got some nuggets, you got some comments. Make sure you share this video. You don't know who is really their life is hanging in the balance. You
Mm,
don't know who needs this encouragement. You don't know who needs this word today, but it's your responsibility to share it and to be a blessing to help someone else today. So make sure you hit the share button. Please do that. I think I saw Beverly. I told you she was chiming in from Guyana.
yeah.
So thank you guys for chiming in. Now listen, any parting words you want to make sure that people know how to connect with you, what you got going on, what's next for Dr. Norva?
Well, for me, I'm working on a membership site. So when it comes to learning more about work-life balance, I'll be sending to let you all know, come join the family. You could
Yes.
find me on Instagram. I'm having some problems with Facebook now. Facebook, get your life in order. But so that will be sorted out soon. But you could go to novaabiona.com if you want to learn more about the things that I do, the areas that I help women in and families in, or find me on Instagram. You can see things from me on Twitter. You put in Nova Abiona, Nova Somoy. Listen, I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere.
I know that's right. Absolutely, because we are doing amazing things. Moms on a mission. That is who we are.
Yeah.
You are certainly one that is on a mission and that is called and appointed for this time and for this season. So I thank you for your yes. I thank you for your willingness, guys. You all know. Listen, we did have a raffle for moms. Guys know you go to ananapfeiffer.com, say connect with me, leave your message, your takeaways from the video. And our winner from the Mother's Day raffle is Ada Crawley. If you know who Ada Crawley is, she has a book and a bag. Y'all know us as women, as mothers, we love our bags. So I will be sending that to you. I will send her email. But listen, I thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, love, and share this video. Dr. Norva, I can't wait till we see
Yeah.
each other again. I can't wait till
Yes,
I get back.
Laura. Yes.
Giving you some virtual love to my sister
Yes.
over on the pond. Thank you all for watching. Listen, y'all know what you do. Be bold, be you, and be blessed, girl. It's
Yes.
Dr. Anana Pfeiffer signing off. Thanks so much for watching.
Bye.